For Fox Sports, I'm Annabelle Stefan, reporting just outside of the Westin Hotel in Birmingham, Alabama, the site of this year's SEC Basketball Media Days. This morning, we had a chance to hear from Alabama head coach Anthony Grant, who gave us his thoughts on the offseason, including up-and-coming players, as well as his relationship with South Carolina head coach Frank Martin, plus a lot more.
Doing well. Excited about the start of the year and start of practice, and just looking forward to getting prepared.
Coach, what do you think about Nashville as first of all, having a primary site and Nashville being that site?
Well, we've had a positive experience in Nashville with the tournament being there. I think it's a great venue. I think it gives the fans an opportunity to come and enjoy their experience during the SEC tournament. So I think it's been enjoyable for the years that I've had a chance to experience the tournament there.
Do you think having a primary site was a good idea to begin with?
Well, I leave those decisions to our commissioner and the league. I don't have a problem with it. As an assistant coach in this league, I remember when Atlanta was the primary site that we were at for most of the years. So I don't see where it really impacts in terms of what we do. One way or another. I think, as I mentioned, I think for the players and the fans and the people associated with it, I think Nashville it presents a good venue. We're looking forward to competing there.
What's the latest on Levi?
No update. Levi, suffered a knee injury this past Saturday. He's been out of practice since that point, and he's still out for an undetermined amount of time. I think the good thing is we don't think it's anything where it's structural damage, so it's just a matter of probably some bone bruising that's just going to take some time to heal.
It's nothing that's required surgery.
No, not at this
Scope
point.
or any of that.
Not at this point, no.
Anthony, new players on your roster, which ones will have the most impact?
Well, they all will. We've got 9 scholarship guys. We added one of the walk-ons to that scholarship rotation that'll be available to play this year. So all our newcomers, Algie Key, Shannon Hill, and Jimmy Taylor will all be very important as we prepare for the upcoming year.
How important would Trevor and his leadership be to this team?
Yeah, Trevor Relaford obviously is a guy that's been an all conference performer since the day he walked on campus. So having him as our only senior and just how he's grown as a player, as a person, is someone I'm really proud of, and certainly look forward to him providing that leadership that you want out of your seniors. I think he's prepared to do that, and I know our team will be better because of the experience that he has.
How much better shape is he in? You talked about how he dropped 10 pounds during the offseason. Has it shown?
Yeah, I think Trevor, really all of our guys have really benefited from our strength and conditioning program. Our strength coach Lou Deneen has done an outstanding job with all our guys, and Trevor, I think certainly you can see just looking at him. I think if you saw him physically, you can see the difference in him physically, and I think mentally and physically he's prepared to go out and have an outstanding year.
How would the weight loss?
Well, I think just stamina-wise, I think being able to, he plays at a very high pace in terms of his effort and energy. He's one of the premier defenders in our league, and obviously we're asking a lot of him from an offensive standpoint. So just that conditioning, that stamina, I think that he'll need to play at a high level, for extended periods of time and over the course of the season. I think it can only help him.
When a freshman is named by the media as preseason All-SEC, what does it say about the upperclassmen in this league?
That's probably up to you to decide. I think, every player will tell you the games are always decided, in between those lines. So anything that happens in the preseason is just that. It's speculation. So I think it makes for maybe some interesting stories or whatever the storyline you want it to be. But I think every player will tell you, at the end of the day, you're going to be judged by what you do on the court.
Where is Nick improved?
Yeah, Nick's another guy. I think that for us, Nick Jacobs has benefited from a great offseason. I think Nick physically has really transformed. He's probably dropped about 20 to 25 pounds of weight, so he looks good physically. So now the next challenge for Nick is to make that mental transformation to what he's done physically, and to be a guy that we can consistently rely on in terms of his effort and energy. So I'm excited for him and to see where his off-season work puts him in terms of what he's capable to provide for our team in this upcoming season.
Trevor said after a couple of NIT trips in the first round of the NCAA that you talked to him about it's time to take the next step. What are they going to do?
Well, as a program, you always want to continue to improve and take that next step, and I think that's where we are. Our goal doesn't change. We want to be a team that can compete for championships. So as a team, we've just got to approach every day as an opportunity to get better. We got to come with the right attitude and the right effort and energy on a daily basis to continue to improve. I don't think there's one thing you can put your finger on as a program to say we've arrived. You never arrive. I don't think any coach that's won championships or no matter what will ever tell you that a team's arrived. So we're in that process of trying to get our program to where we can compete for championships.
When Carl went out last year, how did that affect your offense, and how does having him back, what does that allow you to do offensively that you couldn't do last year?
Yeah, well, Carl, is a guy that, you look at a guy that's only played the game for about 4 years now. But he's one of the hardest working kids that I've ever had a chance to coach. He's got a very high basketball IQ. Even though he's new to the game of basketball, he's always played team sports. So he understands the impact that he as an individual has on the greater good in terms of he's willing to sacrifice his individual for what's best for the team. So from an offensive standpoint, Carl's a guy that really understands everything that we're trying to do. He gives you maximum effort, when he's out there on the court. Obviously, he went down, I think, after played 5 games last year, and then he suffered the knee injury. So I think it affected our team. So having him back healthy is very important to us, obviously, because of what he provides, because of our limited numbers. But certainly we feel like with him being in his 4th year, he's got a chance now to benefit from the experiences that he's gotten over the course of his career.
What about Rodney Cooper? What's his next step in the development?
Yeah, Rodney Cooper, is another guy. This is for us the most experience we've had probably since I've been there in terms of having a senior and 4 juniors that have played significant minutes. So Cooper's one of those guys that for the last 2 years has really gained a lot of valuable experience. Last year, he was in a position where he had to play almost exclusively out of position at the power forward spot. So he's got some versatility that we can play him at a few different spots, but I think he'll have a chance to play more hopefully this season at his natural position of a small forward. So I think with the experience, with the work that he's put in to improve his body, the experience he's gotten just playing college basketball, understanding what he needs to do to try to help himself and our team take that next step, I think will hopefully pay dividends.
You said earlier about Trevor and the offense. How does he balance running the ball, running the club, but then trying to get his scoring-wise? Because obviously when he's both how should he?
Yeah, well, I think he's always done a really good job of that. You look at, he's scored over 1,000 points, in his college career. One of the leaders on our team in assists. I think. What we ask him to do, he needs to score for us. We need him to make the game easier for his teammates at that position. We need him to be one of the elite defenders. So it's a pretty demanding load, that he has. But I think if you look at over the course of his career, you compare him to any guard out there across the country. I think his productivity stacks up against the best in the country. And that's something I think maybe doesn't get highlighted as much, when you look at what he's done. But I'd stack him up against any other guard in the country in terms of what he's done over the course of his career.
Do you see him having a future in the NBA?
I can't determine that. I hope so. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be given an opportunity. Certainly, that's the goal. For I know that's what he wants, and certainly would love to see him have that opportunity. But that's for other people to decide.
Anthony, you and Frank Martin go back a long way.
Just what have you learned from him by being beside him on the bench when you guys played together?
Well, you know, Frank and I went to high school together, you know, so I've known him for several years. So our relationship is way beyond, you know, the game of basketball. But, you know, Frank's a guy that is extremely intense, extremely passionate about the game, very knowledgeable about the game. So, you know, anytime, you know, he and I talk, you know, it's probably more about our families and our friends than it is basketball. But, you know, hopefully I feel like I always can benefit from listening to him talk about the game, you know, and just the way he approaches, you know, just his profession and what he does. I think he's a class guy, and I think he's certainly going to do a great job at South Carolina.
Was it easy for him to keep control of his emotions as a player? I think you probably know that better than most.
Frank's always been an emotional guy. You know, I think obviously there's different ways to be successful. You know, and I think if you ask any guys that had a chance to be around Frank or play for Frank, the things that you guys see in the media, you know, in terms of maybe some of the, I guess, activity on the sideline is really just a part of who he is. I think every guy that, you know, had a chance to play for him in high school, that had a chance to play for him in college, will tell you, you know, he's a teddy bear. He's a great guy. And, you know, at the end of the day, you look at the success that his teams have had, and, you know, I think you can see the results of what he does.
Teddy bear?
Teddy bear.
Anthony, with your roster this season, do you envision maybe opportunities to play a little more up tempo, or how do you view maybe style of play?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to do what we do. You know, I think for us, you know, offensively and defensively, yeah, we want to be a team that can attack on both ends of the floor. You know, at the end of the day, what really matters is winning. So, you know, we've obviously the goal is to put yourself in position to get in the NCAA tournament, advance in the NCAA tournament. So I think when you look at the emphasis from an officiating standpoint, the emphasis has been on maybe less physical play. But I think every coach will tell you at the end of the day, the style that they want to play is the style that equates to winning. We've been fortunate enough to, you know, last year we finished second in the league with 12-6 record. You know, we've averaged 23 wins over the last few years. So what we've got to do now is put ourselves in position where we can get to that NCAA tournament and hopefully advance in that NCAA tournament. So that at the end of the day is where my focus is.
So there were times that the offense bogged down, where you got that 6, 7, 7, once again, what's going to stretch?
Yeah, well, I think some of that is just the nature of the game. Some of it is, you know, having a young team that has to grow. Some of it is limitations that you have on a team. Some of it is what we have to do to put our guys in position where they can have success. You know, we went through the off season and tried to evaluate every aspect of what we do from an offensive and defensive standpoint. You know, like I said, I think at the end of the day, you want to put yourself in a position where you can win games. You know, there'll be some things hopefully this year that we'll be able to do differently. I don't have a crystal ball to be able to determine what's going to happen as we move forward with the season. You know, we're dealing with some minor injuries right now that affect what we're able to do in practice. So last year we dealt with a couple of injuries that took place, you know, during the month of November, December, that impacted our ability to be successful. You know, you look at, we were 6-0 going into December. We go 1-5 in December. You know, if you combine our record from November, take out December, and you go January, February, we're pretty good. I think we're about 18-4, you know, in that stretch. So it's just a matter of, you know, hopefully staying healthy. Knock on wood, we can do that, and putting our team in position where we can win games.
You saw that at Florida too, Anthony, sometimes where you get that lull right before Christmas time. Is that distractions, or what can happen in December sometimes and causes teams to...
Yeah, you know, for us, I think it was a combination of, you know, injuries to Carl Engstrom and Andrew Steele. And then you're right, I think for us, we did not maybe have the maturity to approach some games the way we needed to, and we played against good competition and lost some games that probably impacted our ability to get where we wanted to be at the end of the season.
Make sure to keep it right here at Fox Sports as we continue to bring you the latest on SEC basketball. Reporting from Birmingham, I'm Annabelle Stefan.